Welcome to the Real Life Weight Loss Podcast, where we cut through the confusion and get down to the truth about what really works for real people when it comes to losing weight, having incredible health, and a body that you love. We believe that losing weight is really about gaining life, doing things you never thought you could, having renewed confidence, and enjoying your body more than ever. I'm your host, Corey Little. Now let's get to it. Hello, my friend. Welcome back and Happy New Year. If things go according to plan, this episode should be released sometime early in January. This is episode number 275, and we are going to discuss the 4 stages of successful weight loss. I'm excited about today's episode. There are basically 4 phases of successful weight loss that anyone and everyone goes through. Literally, anyone who finds long-term success with losing weight and health, they're either taught these phases or they just kind of unknowingly stumble through them. But guess what? Here's the thing. You won't have to stumble and bumble through them because I'm going to walk you through them today. So this episode is rather timely, don't you think? It's January. Most people are ready to ramp up their New Year's resolutions and lose some weight, and I want to help with that. So let's get into these 4 stages. They're actually derived from the 4 stages of learning because guess what? Whether you realize it or not, when you lose weight, you're not just doing something, you are learning something. This is true for pretty much anything we want to accomplish in life. Achieving our goals and being successful is not about trying harder and staying motivated. That's what we think of when it comes to weight loss, right? Right, but that's wrong. That's not what it's really about. The truth is, achieving our goals and being successful is all about learning how to do what we want to do, learning how to have what we want to have. So the 4 stages of successful weight loss are essentially a slightly different version, but very similar to the 4 stages of learning that Martin Broadwell teaches. They are, number 1, I'm going to share these with you, and then we're going to dig into them. I'm going to explain exactly how they relate to weight loss, okay? Number 1 is something called unconscious incompetence. Now, most of you know incompetence means they don't know what they're doing, right? This is basically where you don't know what you don't know. Like, you're unconscious and you're incompetent. Not unconscious like you passed out, right? But you're unconsciously incompetent. You don't even know what to do, and you don't even realize that you don't know. So this is the very, very beginning. Step number 2 is conscious incompetence. This is where we realize, oh, wait, there's some stuff I don't know, and I need to learn. We have this realization. Step 3 is conscious competence. This is where we work at what we don't know and we begin to put it into play intentionally, consciously. It's not super easy for us, but we're doing it with purpose. We're doing it very intentionally in order to learn it. So that's step 3. Next, the final step, step 4, is unconscious competence. And this is where the gold is. This is where we don't even really have to think about knowing something or doing something. We just do it automatically. And when it comes to losing weight, anyone who's truly successful, long-term, like changes their body, changes their life, they ultimately go through these 4 stages. But the problem is most people get hung up on certain parts. So I want to take these 4 stages and really break it down for you so that it makes sense in your weight loss journey. And so that you can see where you might have always been getting stuck and learn, there's that word again, learn how to progress and move forward to your goals. But here's the thing. When it comes to losing weight, most people, we don't even get to 4 steps. We just think there are kind of 2 types of people or 2 categories of people. And this can just totally mess us up and not allow us to move through these 4 stages. We think there are basically people who just don't know what to do. And then there are people who may think they know what to do, but they just can't seem to do it. It's like they can't get out of their own way. If you stop and think about it for a minute, you can probably easily put yourself into one of those 2 categories, right? You either feel confused, like you just don't know what to do, like which diet is best or who you should listen to or which workout you should do, or you might be frustrated and discouraged because if you're really honest, you feel like you do know what to do, but dang it, you just can't stick with it. It's too hard, and life just gets in the way, and you always lose your motivation or just eventually fall off the wagon. We think that there are these two categories and only these two categories when it comes to losing weight. But after 20 years of studying successful weight loss and coaching people, I can tell you that we are wrong. That's not how it is. It's not how it works. There aren't two categories of people. It's actually a progression through these 4 phases. These are the phases to successful weight loss and being successful, honestly, with nearly anything in life. And even though she probably didn't even mean to, one of my clients recently summed it up perfectly. She said, it was like I didn't know what to do, and then once I did know what to do, I just can't keep it up. I can't get out of my own way, and I always burn out. This perfectly sums up the realization or experience that so many people have on their way to becoming truly successful at losing weight. You might have experienced it yourself, especially when it comes to New Year resolutions and all the motivation that comes with that. It's always some version of the same story, right? It goes something like this. You feel bad about your body. That's step 1. Maybe you get sick and tired of always just feeling tired, and you muster up some motivation, and you feel bloated and extra fat from all the holiday eating. I know sometimes I feel that way. And then we start to get excited about the possibility of actually losing weight. And then here's a new year, right? All the holiday food's gone, so we start a new diet. Some diet maybe you read about online or some friend told you about, or maybe you start a weight loss challenge that some Instagram influencer kept posting before and after pictures of. You might throw out all the junk food and make a grocery list that perfectly fits the new diet. And then you go to the store and spend tons of time reading food labels, trying to figure out what you can and can't eat. And then you spend a few hours meal prepping with all the new recipes that you found online, probably on Pinterest. And then you wake up super early to start your workouts first thing Monday morning. But by Wednesday or Thursday, you're so sore that you can't hardly move and you dread sitting on the toilet or going upstairs. It's like, no, please. And then if you're really honest, you're sick of eating kale or spinach or some other health food that your diet plan calls for, and you're starting to get hungry, like really hungry. And then you start having some serious cravings. And suddenly this new diet and workout program doesn't seem like such a great idea after all. But you've actually lost some weight. So heck yeah, right? That's good. It's progress. But oh my gosh, you've still got so far to go. And you just can't escape the fact that you're kind of miserable and you're really starting to hate this diet. But you just think, hey, that's how it's got to be if you're ever going to get results. So you muster up some more motivation and you continue the grind. And then, it happens. You just can't willpower yourself through it anymore. You mess up once. You eat something that you shouldn't have eaten. And then it's like the floodgates open. You give in to temptation again and again. And suddenly what started as 1 or 2 bites of a cookie on a Thursday afternoon turned into a free-for-all, like an all-weekend binge fest where you're constantly beating yourself up mentally, but you're just drowning that out with more and more food, cramming in as much as possible because amongst the mental diet chaos, you've somehow decided, I better enjoy myself because, after all, I'm starting fresh on Monday. But then one of the worst possible things happens. You think, God, I just totally fell off the wagon this weekend. That was terrible. So I should get a starting weight and check the damage. I should see what kind of damage the weekend did. So you step on the scale on Monday only to discover that you not only gained back the 3 pounds that you had lost that you were so excited about, but you've also packed on 3 or 4 more pounds. It's like, what the? It's enough to make you want to cuss, right? And then you're filled with tons of self-doubt. You probably start to have some horribly mean self-talk. You might even shed a tear because, man, if you're honest, you just feel so defeated and so discouraged. And that fresh start Monday that you were maybe kind of excited about, it just turned into a really bitter attempt at another diet or weight loss challenge that you dread and you don't like, and you don't even really want to do. Does any of this sound familiar? And then here's the crazy part. It's just rinse and repeat. I encourage you right now, get super honest with yourself. You know what I'm talking about. We do some slightly different version of this over and over and over. It's the same soul-sucking, self-defeating process again and again. Now, I know some of you are probably nodding your head right now. Some of you may have a tear in your eye right now because this is exactly what you've experienced. You might have experienced it over and over and over again, like I mentioned, to the point that you don't believe in yourself anymore. And if you're honest, you don't know if you'll ever be successful with this. My friend, please listen right now. Turn the volume up if you feel this way. If you connected with what I just shared, then for goodness sakes, pause this podcast right now and go register for my free upcoming class. Listen, it does not have to be the way that I just described. You do not have to keep going through the same crappy, broken weight loss cycle again and again. Now, some of you may be like, wow, Corey, man, like you're coming on strong, dude. You're really promoting this upcoming class. Yes, I absolutely am. You know why? Because I know you're going to take one of two paths in 2024. You're either going to attempt to lose weight using some slightly different version of that same old self-defeating diet cycle that you've tried so many times in the past, or you're finally going to break free and you're going to take a new approach to losing weight, an approach that allows you to lose weight without constantly stressing about being perfect with your food and workouts. It's an approach that not only changes your body, but also changes your brain so that you experience less stress around food, around your body. You actually enjoy the process and you gain life. You can lose all the weight you want. Write this down. Turn the volume up again. You can lose all the weight you want, but this does not guarantee a gain in life. It does not guarantee less stress or more happiness or more peace of mind. True success is when we not only lose weight and improve our health, but we also gain life. So look, if you want to try that same old broken approach again this new year, then go for it. Dig your own diet grave. And I don't mean to sound mean. I don't mean that at all. I want nothing but success for you, and I do everything I can in this podcast to help you with that. But if you want to open your mind, begin to change how you think about losing weight and do something different, then pause this episode, go to everybodyhatesdiets.com, claim your spot for the free coaching call I'm doing on Thursday, January 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, I'm going to wait. I'll wait right here. Okay, go do it. Okay, you back? Okay, now, let me explain the 4 phases of successful weight loss. Let me break it down and really apply it, the 4 stages of learning to the 4 phases of successful weight loss. And I bet you'll be able to see yourself in one of these stages. Here we go. The first phase, you're confused. You basically have a lack of knowledge. Someone wants to lose weight, but they're just not sure what to do or what's right. They're confused, like I said, and they think, rightly so, that is the problem. Like, okay, I would do it if I actually knew what to do. I don't know what's right or what I should do. Okay, great. That's phase 1. Next up, the second phase, you begin to gain some knowledge. You are somewhat informed. You go from confused to informed. You find something to do and you try to do it. Maybe it's keto or intermittent fasting or paleo or Weight Watchers or Whole30 or some other diet. And right here is where that terrible experience that I described earlier often begins. This is also where it gets tricky and interesting. Most people stay stuck between stage 1 and stage 2. So remember, stage 1, the first phase here, is confused. You don't know what you're doing. The second phase is you're informed, you've gained some knowledge, but you're putting it into play, but you're not really good at it yet. Well, oftentimes what will happen is people will put it into play, can't stick with it. They struggle with keto because they love carbs so much, whatever. And then eventually they go, okay, well, I couldn't do that. I didn't do that. It didn't work for me. And then they're right back to phase 1. Well, now I'm confused. If it's not keto, then what should I do? Okay, my neighbor had really good results with Whole30. I'll try that. And then they try Whole30. And then they make it through 2 weeks. And then they have one of those all-weekend binge fests. And they're like, okay, Whole30 is just kind of crazy. And I don't even know if I lost any weight. And if I'm honest, I can't eat like that the rest of my life. So then they go back to phase 1. Okay, I'm confused again. I tried keto. I tried Whole30. Let me try something else. And then they try Weight Watchers. Or maybe sometimes it can happen like this. They're confused. They find a solution. They go to phase 2 where they've gained some knowledge, they're putting it into play, and they lose weight. And they keep it off for a little while. I had a lady in my coaching group the other day that said, I've lost 75 pounds before, and I gained it all back in 3 months. What's the point of losing weight if we can't keep it off? But that's exactly how we get stuck in these first 2 phases. It's another way, right? Maybe you lose 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 50 or 75 pounds, but then you gain it back. And so you're hit with this realization that, wow, like I thought I knew what I was doing, but it didn't work. I didn't keep it off. So then you go back through these first phase, second phase, first phase, second phase. And this is where so many people get stuck. And if I had to guess, this might be where you have gotten stuck. So let me help to unstick you. I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to roll with it. Let's move to the third stage. And this is where the epiphany happens. It's where someone realizes it's not just that I need more knowledge. It's actually all about learning to change my brain, because everything trickles down from there. Not just cramming my brain full of knowledge, but changing the way I think, changing a bunch of other things in my life. This is the only way someone ever truly breaks out of that terrible self-defeating diet cycle. Eventually, they step back, they look at their past experiences, they look at the failed attempts, and they realize it's not a lack of knowledge. It's not that they just need to find the best diet or the right diet for them, or a customized workout program, or fun recipes that fit their plan, or an appetite suppressant, or some magical supplement. It's none of that. When they step back and take an honest look at their past attempts, they realize they've been trying some slightly different version of the same crap over and over, when in reality, the only way they'll ever be successful is to change themselves from the inside out. They realize it's not a lack of knowledge or even necessarily a lack of a plan or any of those things. They, let's just say you finally realize that it's you. You've been holding yourself back. It's you. It's your brain. It's your ingrained patterns and habits and beliefs. It's your recurring thoughts. And you finally realize it's as much or more about your brain than your body, because your brain is what determines everything else in your life. The amazing people who are part of my inner circle, this is where they are. They're courageous enough to take that honest look at themselves and their past attempts and say, okay, it's time for something different. And they experience amazing transformations, not just physically, but overall. Here's a recent comment from this incredible lady in my group named Karen. She said, this has completely changed how I view myself and my health and nutrition. I've lost 20 pounds, but what I've gained mentally far outweighs the physical transformation I'm seeing. I've learned to love my body, embrace my strength physically and mentally, and look at the scale as a measure of data, not my self-worth. Man, hit the little 15-second backward thing on your podcast player and listen to that again. That, my friend, is real transformation. That's life changing. That's life gained. And no amount of weight loss can guarantee that. That's what happens when you have the epiphany and realize that all of this is more about your brain and overall approach than just trying to do some diet or special workout to force weight loss. And once you realize this, you're leaving the old broken approach behind and you're starting on an entirely different path, which leads us to the fourth and final stage or step or phase, whatever you want to call it. And this is where you have a new approach that embraces taking small steps, learning, and actually changing your lifestyle, not just forcing a diet. Or as Martin Broadwell would say, you're becoming unconsciously competent. This is where you begin a new approach, a new path to weight loss success. Rather than looking for the next fancy quick weight loss, get abs in 6 weeks challenge, instead of all that crap, you intentionally choose a different approach and you adjust your expectations. This isn't just about trying to quickly lose the weight and be done. It's about actually changing your entire life in really awesome ways long term. So you do some homework and you find a coach or a program, or maybe even a therapist if that's what you feel you need. You find someone or something that addresses the whole person, including the mental component to food and exercise and losing weight. And you learn how to make changes that truly make all the difference. Changes that will last. You're learning how to become unconsciously competent. You learn how to change your brain, how to leave behind the poisonous all or nothing mindset, how to change your daily habits piece by piece, how to see your patterns, how to begin to have incredible awareness and see your own stuff, see your patterns and the ways you've always gotten stuck in the past, and ultimately change your lifestyle, which changes your body's internal ecosystem and biochemistry, which positively impacts your physical and mental health, which ultimately leads to true long-term, lose it, don't gain it back, life-changing results, because you're now unconsciously competent. You just naturally do it. You've lost weight, and you keep it off without even really trying, because it's just kind of who you are and just kind of what you do. But that only happens once you have that epiphany, and then you embrace a new approach. So, I'm not sure where you're at in these stages. Are you confused in stage 1? Or maybe frustrated and discouraged in stage 2? Or maybe you're stuck in that vicious cycle, ping-ponging, bouncing back and forth between those first 2 stages. Or have you had the epiphany? And if you have had that light bulb moment, then what are you going to do about it? Of course, you know by now that I'd love to see you in the free upcoming coaching call on Thursday, January 11th. But look, you don't have to do that. I don't ever want you to feel pressure from me. I just want 2 things for you. I want you to believe in yourself, and I want you to take a step in a positive direction, a step in a new direction that can not just change your body, but can truly change your life in an amazing, positive way. So do me a favor, okay? Either find a coach or a program that you connect with and be sure they address the vital mental component of food and weight loss. Or right now, go register for and attend, so important, attend my free class at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, January 11th. Go register before all the spots fill up. And that attend part, as I mentioned, is pretty important. You don't get any benefit from registering but not attending. I do these live events only about 2 or 3 times per year, and I've yet to send out a replay. I know a lot of like online presentations and webinars, it's like, oh, if you can't make it, no big deal, we send out the replay. And I do that in my coaching group, but I don't do that for these. And I'm not trying to be mean or rude. I just want it to be a spot on your calendar where we can hang out and talk and discuss things. There's something unique about being there live, and there's something incredibly powerful about us being able to interact if you have questions or if you need some help or maybe even some coaching. So carve out the time and join me for what is basically a free coaching call. Even if you have no interest in me or my program, that's okay. I'll be happy to answer your questions and help you find what's best for you. So if you enjoy this podcast, then you will love this live event. Okay? Okay. Now, say it with me. There's so much more to you and your body than what you weigh. You are more than just a number. You are pretty dang incredible. Just how you are. And losing weight, it is great. And it can make you feel better and have more energy. But really, losing weight is all about, it should be all about gaining life and living the life and doing the things that you've always wanted. And you can do it. I know it. I believe in you. And just in case you don't believe in yourself, you can borrow my belief. Keep coming back. I'll keep working on you. Deal? Deal. Okay, good. Thank you so much for your time today, my friend. I hope this has been helpful. God bless. Bye-bye.